Most veterans will tell you that serving together during wartime will make for lifelong friendships and enduring bonds of respect, even when your friend on the battlefield is not a typical soldier. Joining me to talk about the role of military dogs on and off the battlefield are retired Marine dog handler Jose Armenta and his bomb-sniffing German Shepherd, Zenit. Both were stationed in Afghanistan, and their story is featured in the June issue of National Geographic magazine. Welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Jose, why did you become a military working dog handler?
Well, I always wanted to be a Marine from as early as I can remember, but I also wanted to do law enforcement. So I went military police, and then I became a dog handler.
And what was Zenit like when you first got him?
Full of puppy energy. That's the best I could describe him.
And then were you reluctant to bond with Zenit because this is a working dog relationship, or did you just connect pretty easily? I
was reluctant. I tried to keep it strictly business because I knew the job we were doing was dangerous and most likely one of us would be hurt and replaced.
Well, what you're saying a dangerous job, but what was his role?
Searching for IEDs in Afghanistan.
So describe that for me. What would a typical day be like?
We would walk ahead of the platoon we were working with and search for the IEDs, the homemade explosives that were planted and booby-trapped all around our area.
And in fact, you lost both your legs after stepping on an IED in Afghanistan. What happened that day?
Well, we were on a mission. We had found a few IEDs already in the canal, and unfortunately we missed one, and that was the one I stepped on and lost both of my legs.
Was Zenit with you, or how close by was he?
He was about 15 feet in front of me, and he wasn't injured. So while I was getting first aid, he was just laying down by my side.
He stuck with you?
That's correct.
And then what about after that? What followed as far as treatments? Was he able to come with you? What followed after the immediate first aid?
Well, he was assigned to another handler to finish out the rest of the deployment while I was medevac to stateside and started my recovery.
And what was that like, being separated from him, for you and for him?
It was nerve-wracking. He was still in danger, and I wanted him back home with me.
So despite having this kind of business only, you guys really did end up connecting.
We did.
And then what happened then? How were you retired then,
yes.
Correct? And then was Zenit still working over there? How did you get reunited?
Well, I put in the necessary paperwork to have him retired. And about a year later, it went through and I was able to pick him up.
And then what about your recovery? How long did it take for you to, while this was going on, you put in the papers, what were you doing during that time?
Physical therapy. I did over a year of physical therapy, learning how to walk again, and recovering mentally also.
Mm-hmm. And how long during the time of you recovering did it take before you were reunited with Zenit?
Well, it took about a year, and when we were reunited, I was still going through recovery.
And did he help change that at all, or was it just the moral support? How did that change things?
He did help. There was a void. You know, we had been through something that most people wouldn't understand, and so it meant a lot to have him by my side.
Do you think he connected as well? Did he seem more relaxed? I know I've talked to handlers before that say that some military dogs have post-traumatic stress syndrome. Did you pick up anything like that within him?
Slight signs of it, but for the most part, he's very calm and relaxed.
So now you're both retired,
yes.
And you're both living here in San Diego. How easy or difficult was it for both you and Zenit to adjust to life outside the military?
It took some getting used to on my part and his, but after about a month he was digging holes and barking, so he's back to being a regular dog.
So he doesn't go around actually sniffing for things that he shouldn't, right?
No. Well, we don't have any explosives in my backyard.
Yeah, thank goodness. So I know the June issue, as I mentioned, in National Geographic features you and Zenit. That's pretty big. What's life been like for you since that story was published?
You know, not much has changed. Just taking care of my son and going to school now.
All right. Any advice that you have for people who want to know more about military dogs and possibly adopting them?
Well, they can visit the Air Force Base webpage, Lackland Air Force Base, and there's a program on that website for adopting military working dogs.
All right. Well, I am so glad you're here, and it worked out for both of you. Jose Armenta and Combat Canine Zenit, thank you very much.
Thank you.